Hello guys, it is I, the Supreme Intelligence, also known as the Ultimate Joker, and today I'm joined with my certified radiologist, Resican, and today we'll be delving into my very first response video, and I honestly have to say, I wish I got a better first one. But anyway, anything you'd like to add, Resican?
No, not really, let's just get into this.
Hey guys, this is a response to a video on Marvel Spider-Man 2,
Wait, pause.
and I won't mention his...
Hey guys! Is he moaning for his audience? Is that like his shtick? Or like, you know how you call yourself the Supreme Intelligence? Is he like the Supreme Moaner?
Oh boy, it's too early to make more of those type of jokes. I'm already cancelled enough as is. Let's move forward.
Let's get back.
his name because this is not an attack towards him, nor do I want people going into his comment section and be like, well, you're a sneaky poo-poo head, you had an opinion about a video game, and it was so bad that I need to write a super hateful comment. No, I don't want any of that. This is literally just a response to that video, so let's just get right into it, actually.
Kraven, who has now become ridiculously old.
Okay, so he's excusing not giving you credit for your video by playing using the moral high ground argument, like, oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings, I don't want to like use my fan base to attack his channel. It's like, no, you just don't want to credit him. You don't want more people seeing that video because you know that, I haven't even watched this video, but you know that you've chopped it up into little pieces so that you can remove things from their context. And if people go back to that video and watch it, then you know that they'll know that you are full of shit.
Well, yeah, the guy that actually pointed me to this video in my community post, shout out to that guy that I'll edit on. Yeah, he actually pointed that out. And yeah, I'm really glad you articulated that for me and spared me the effort. But yeah, and as you would know, I got bashed in that comment section enough as is. Any more doesn't hurt. It's, yeah, as you said, sort of an excuse, but whatever. Let's get into the filth that I put at 1.25 speed.
You mean, get back into it?
And Spider-Man in under a minute. Harry later has to give Spider-Man the symbiote, so he doesn't die. He almost died to stupid shit like this.
He almost died to stupid shit like what? We already shown Kraven is able to beat a lot of Spider-Man villains, and he doesn't even consider Miles or Peter a threat. And clearly Peter wasn't expecting him to block his punch since he seems to just be an enhanced human. So why would Peter use all of his strength in one blow? It wouldn't make any sense. He doesn't know how powerful he is.
Not to mention the dumb predictability of where this was all going.
Are you an idiot? like no, seriously, the game trailer shows the symbiote suit in it. That's like saying it's Spectacular Spider-Man or Spider-Man 3. You see the symbiote crawling around and you're like, oh, I know where this is going. Like...
Well, I'm not sure if you knew how clear I was in that segment of the video, Resican, but, yeah, what I meant is that the fake out of, God, come on, Peter's not gonna die halfway through the game. That's what I was referring to, not the black suit. I think this guy could have, I don't know, taken the hint. I don't know, did you get that without, like, any bias towards me?
No, I thought it was obvious. Yeah, like, oh no, he's about to die. What can possibly save him?
Yeah.
The symbiote, which is not, you know, a bad plotline, but it's just obvious he's not going to die, and the fact that, you know, it was made by him getting stabbed, I think is kind of silly, especially since Peter knows, like, which is also a point you make in the video, that he's enhanced. Surprisingly enough, this guy contradicts himself because he mentions how Kraven can beat up Scorpion with ease, who is at Spider-Man's power level, and Spider-Man knows that, so wouldn't he have been more prepared for Kraven?
Well, yeah, I think he's about to fail to get to it. Let's continue.
Fucking obviously.
People have given some excuses like him not being ready for Kraven's enhanced strength. Unrelated, but dang, this video that includes both of our videos sounds like mine is sped up because, you know, it's at 1.25 speed, but he sounds normal in it. Whatever, that possibly says something. Anyway, even then, that shouldn't mean you instantly die to what's only an enhanced human.
He mentions this here, but I don't understand because isn't Green Goblin an enhanced human? Isn't Doc Ock an enhanced human? Isn't Martin Lee an enhanced human? So you shouldn't be able to die by these guys by your logic then either, right?
Spider-Man has... Okay, well, this is something I've well articulated via me reading Kraven's most critically acclaimed story, Kraven's Last Hunt. Kraven, from what the general fan base could conclude in general lore, is a human pushing his limits as much as he can. He takes a temporary herb, which, like, I don't know, it's like Sisyphus. He's pushing himself as much as he could, his human limitations, to just maybe have a chance, but he's not like the Green Goblin who has just a permanent serum that he doesn't need to keep retaking. Doc Ock, come on. Giant metal arms with, like, enhanced reflexes. You could probably get into this better. You have at it.
Like you mentioned, basically the herbs that he takes is pretty much like an adrenaline shot. It's going to boost his abilities, but he still doesn't have powers.
Oh yeah, I'll emphasize that every other game has it go this way. I don't know, it's very strange. And I guess you could say, oh, well, I guess he will say, oh, well, this is his own adaptation. They could do whatever they want, regardless of it drastically straying from the source material, which I might not mind, but you know how criticism often goes. Oh, shoot, DC, Snyder bad, comic book accuracy, Spider-Man 3, an even worse example given that it's a Spider-Man story. Oh, it's bad because Venom Silvergrace, it's not like the comics, he's not tall enough or whatever.
Yeah, these are all stuff you go into in your comic accuracy video that's on your channel. So
Actually, yeah, you're right. Let me spare myself the time.
Let's move
to
on,
check that
yeah.
out.
I mean,
Strength
let's
that
get
can
into
stop
this.
trains and enhance speed, so maybe he shouldn't just pathetically die to an above-average human.
Oh yes, only an above average human. It's not like he was able to hold Scorpion with one hand and at least able to stand his own against Symbiote, Spider-Man, and Venom for a while.
Spider-Man said that in the comic video. He shouldn't even be that tough in the first place. Whatever. Should have been ready for him to be this tough anyway, since he already knew Kraven killed Scorpion.
Yes, Spider-Man did see the video of him defeating Scorpion, and I don't feel as though that should have just made him ready since he still doesn't know the full limits of his strength or durability. I don't think that justifies the punch that he blocks. We don't know how hard Spider-Man was hitting him, and I would assume it was still pretty hard, but...
Yeah, you can do
Alright,
the
so he
honors.
sees him killing Scorpion with ease, and he's like, oh, this guy's probably a pushover.
He's fought Scorpion multiple times, and if I were to go off of what's known in general lore, Scorpion's not that far off from Spider-Man. He's a fairly formidable foe. And even if you want to say, oh, well, it's not like that. Okay, in Spider-Man PS4, you might remember the cutscene. Scorpion almost killed this guy via that same stab of poisoning Spider-Man. He's a threat. So seeing a full-on video of that guy getting manhandled should have you on edge, but as you just said,
Also, like, yeah, what's with, like, the wild overhead punch? Like, that's, like, really, like, amateur stuff right there.
Oh, brother, let's get into the chunks.
not as hard as he could because he still doesn't know the full limits of his strength. All Kraven really did was take out his stinger easily and also throw him with one hand, so I feel like that 2-minute video doesn't give him enough information on how hard he should hit him.
Dude, that stinger is everything that Scorpion is. That tail is an entire muscle. That tail is probably stronger than his arms. That's the whole gist of his character. And he just took it out with one hand. What? Can you make that math? It's a muscle. It's pretty much a muscle. Oh, whatever.
Back into it.
Spider-Man doesn't want to kill him, so I would imagine he's still holding back.
Gosh, the scaling of Kraven being this overpowered is just ridiculous.
I don't. The power scaling for Kraven was ridiculous because this is a different version of the character. And I'm going to be repeating that a lot in this video because I'm not sure if he understands there's different power scalings for different versions of the characters, since he seems to be making that a point in his video.
Let's give another better example yet again. Spectacular Spider-Man, where Peter also gets his ass beat in under a minute. Not as ridiculously severe as Kraven, but his ass does get beat. Now, this scene actually makes sense because this is Spider-Man's very first time seeing Tombstone, which justifies Spider-Man's mistake of underestimating him, unlike Kraven.
Not sure the point you're trying to make here. It's also Spider-Man's first time facing Kraven, and yeah, I see the point you're trying to make with the video of him killing Scorpion, but I still feel that doesn't give him a full understanding of his power, like I said before.
Despite that loss... Dude, this guy's... He saw a full video of Kraven killing someone! That's pretty much seeing him.
Yeah, like a super-powered being, too. No, that's like Mr. Incredible and the Incredibles, like seeing like the video of like all of the people who got taken out by the robot. Like, let's say that he didn't fight him the first time, right? He sees all that video of like the robot killing all those people, and then like he goes easy on it. Like all those super-powered beings who were his friends. Like, this is like a very stupid argument. I'm sorry. If like he killed, if like Kraven killed like Mary Jane or something, which would have been cooler, especially in this universe, I would understand it. But it's fucking Scorpion, man. No, it's like Batman. It's like Batman, like seeing a video of like a Doomsday killing Superman, he's like, oh, this guy's a piece of cake. Even though, yeah, oh, like, and then like he's unprepared. He's like, oh, but he's never fought Doomsday before. He saw a video of him fucking killing Superman.
Oh, brother, and dude, this guy is bashing the own series he reviews. Unlike Kraven, I could certainly say that Spider-Man has never seen Tombstone ever. As I said in the video, I think he might have cut it out. He has never seen Tombstone at all. He just heard that he's a leader of like some like underground criminal organization. He has never seen this guy. He has no idea what powers he has. All he knows is that he's like pasty as hell. That's it. He's not ready for super strength. No one would assume a businessman... Whatever, I'm citing my own video. Spider-Man later defeats Tombstone near the ending of the show, which is some hella great payoff that shows character progress.
The character progression that Spectacular went through took 6 months in the canon timeline. I even checked, and him versus Kraven was maybe a week. I actually don't know the amount of time, but I do know it was a short amount of time. Also, this scene is stupid, by the way, because why didn't Tombstone just kill Spider-Man?
Here, Kraven nearly kills Spider-Man, and Spider-Man never really gets back. Venom ends up killing Kraven to steal the main villain spotlight. Notice the comparison we're making here. Spectacular loses the first round of Tombstone, beats him when the time comes. Insomniac nearly dies to Kraven, fails to beat him the second time, and then the kill is given to someone else to rank up for the points. And when you ask things like, why didn't Tombstone just kill Spider-Man right then and there, I wonder how much of the show you paid attention to. Tombstone doesn't kill Spider-Man right away because he literally wants Spider-Man to work for him. He makes him an offer to ignore crimes that Tombstone gives the nod on, and he'll pay him for it. So I don't know why you even asked this when in the same scene you're looking at there's an answer right in front of you.
This guy's bashing his own show he reviews to put this dog shit on a pedestal. That is sad.
Yeah, the Insomniac shillery is next level. Anyway, continue.
Man never beats this guy without the symbiote. We never see Kraven get overpowered by anything except the symbiote, so therefore those shitty shorts have no real proof of Spider-Man being stronger.
We never see Symbiote Spidey beat Kraven without the symbiote, so that means he couldn't do it, is basically what you're saying, which I feel is illogical because we don't see it. It's this thing called a game where time is limited for a story. That's like saying in Spider-Man 3, Peter was only able to beat Sandman with the symbiote even though we don't see it. We see him fighting in the red suit one time and he loses. Guess what? That means he can't beat him without the symbiote. And that's also his first time fighting Sandman, and I know your only argument is, well, he watched a video that was 2 minutes long, so he should have known his strength to a degree. And yes, he probably did know his strength to a degree. He was going for a face shot and he wasn't expecting him to block.
Comparing Kraven, who's like, you know, literally high on herbs, to a fucking like sand god is insanity. I'm just gonna like, I don't even know what to say.
Oh well, and with the bank robbery fight, that wasn't really a loss. That was like a draw at generous worse. Sandman failed at the robbery. He didn't get the money. He ran.
Yeah, no. Exactly, yeah. So I don't know why he said he lost.
Like, maybe he'll have a point later in terms of, like, Red Suit Spider-Man not being able to, like, beat a giant version of Sandman, which I did clarify in the video. He cut that out. I said I could excuse Spider-Man not being able to, yeah, as you said, beat a sand god in giant mode.
Anyway, continue. Yeah, play it.
Fuck. I'm sure he wouldn't use all of his power because he doesn't want to kill him. We can also compare your logic to Spectacular Spider-Man. Well, we don't see that he can't be Chameleon without the symbiote, so that means he can't do it. Or what about taking down the
shit, man! I'm trying not to make this video slow. Yeah, he never beat Red Suit Spider-Man, and then he loses to Black Suit. The reason I could compare that to Kraven is that Kraven kills Red Suit Spider-Man pretty much, and then Spider-Man only beats Kraven with the Black Suit. Totally different context.
Also, but like Spider-Man 3 is like guys, like, please rewatch the movie. Peter did not lose. Like, there's literally a scene of him looking around and like Sandman's watching him from like above a tower, and then Sandman just like flies away.
Yeah, he ran like
Peter
a
had lost.
bitch.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been Peter retreating, which would have made sense. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have held that against Spider-Man because, again, it's fucking Sandman. It's not Kraven. But
yeah, not to mention that the movie has a Red Suit 1v1 win. He beats Harry. I said in the video, but I think he cut that out.
Once, just because we don't see it doesn't mean he can't do it. Then he also says then we don't have proof that Spider-Man without the symbiote is stronger than Kraven. And yeah, you dummy, he's not. Kraven is clearly shown to be stronger than him, but that doesn't mean he can't beat him without the symbiote.
I fight guys stronger than me all the time.
What?
How do you know that? What? I mean, there's no proof. There's no proof of that.
Calling a dummy is funny though.
Yeah, whatever. Short bust here. Let's keep going.
What does Spider-Man do in Spectacular to win most of his fights? Ask me that. Does he fight them head on and win, or does he outsmart them and win? Most of the time, he outsmarts them instead of defeating them head on.
Peter fights the lizard and wins this fight, but it's with the symbiote, and they make sure that you know he only wins this fight exclusively because of the symbiote when they have the symbiote heal him from a serious fight-ending injury against the lizard.
I feel this is dumb. He's beaten the lizard before in this universe, and who's to say he can't beat him with a broken arm? Wasn't he fighting the Sinister Six with 14 broken bones? And even in the comics, he actually beats the lizard with one arm like a beast.
As opposed to other...
Okay, pretty giga.
But comics? Yeah.
But in this game, similar to Spider-Man 3, the video game, this lizard got bigger than he was. It's a completely different context. He wasn't as big as he fought him in Spider-Man PS4. The game Spider-Man 2, which I guess I'm paying attention to more than he did in terms of Insomniacs, they specify the lizard is bigger than he ever was before. So no, that's not really the same context.
Yeah. Also another thing he mentioned earlier, like, oh, different universes have different power scalings. Sure, that's true, but like, why are you invoking now Spider-Man 616 for this, like, you know, shitty Tom Holland ass Insomniac Spider-Man?
Oh, whatever.
Like, aren't they different universes? Yeah, like, he's contradicting himself again. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I guess I know more about this shitty game than he does somehow, and I don't even like it. That's crazy.
media that
Yeah,
shows
fine
the
line
black
between
suit
love
as
and
something
hate.
that makes things easier, not something that's a crutch that he absolutely needs.
Did it not make his fight easier? He doesn't absolutely need it. He's beaten lizards before without it.
Spider-Man...
Ah! Dude! Look, man, doesn't need it!
Did it not make his
Hold up.
fight easier? He doesn't absolutely need it. He's beaten lizards
Doesn't absolutely need it. Look, I'm seeing shots of the tendrils literally doing it for him. Dude!
Like, and you literally showed like 2 minutes ago like how he was literally about to die if it wasn't for the symbiote.
No, but I mean, like, I forgot to mention this in my video. I should have. The tendrils, similar to Kraven, the tendrils are literally, like, restraining the foes for him to the point where you have absolutely no doubt that the symbiote is doing this. I think this is very deliberate, as opposed to Sam Raimi, which, you know, I guess he didn't use the tendrils, but because he used his body, you can maybe think, yeah, he could have put Sandman's face into the train without that black suit. Here, dude, it's tendrils. Come on. It's right there. It's literally showing it
Yeah, I
as
think,
he's
like,
saying it.
yeah, the game is telling you that like he's dependent on the symbiote, which is why he mentions later that it makes me a better Spider-Man. Anyway.
before without it.
Spider-Man, like a true Giga Chad, goes off to fight all the symbiotes without the black suit, and even holds his own against a giant Venom symbiote monster. Now that is some Giga shit.
I wonder, is it that the power scaling is different for other versions of the characters? This is
Wait,
impossible.
no, he's
Also,
616.
didn't you
Web Shadow's
Is he
Spider-Man
616 or is this a
actually
different-
616 to be honest, but anyway.
Yeah, I know. I just disagree with that take. I think
literally
it's
just say
like,
that the
yeah,
power
like comic book fan, movie fans, it's like, oh my god, it's him, it's him. They made a game about the 616 Spidey, and then like they fuck around with like power scaling and you know making Mary Jane Lois Jane and other stuff like that. Like, no, it's not him.
scaling for Kraven was ridiculous. What about Web of Shadows Venom? He shouldn't even be able to do this.
In a Kraven jail,
He didn't straight up kill that thing anyway. They had to destroy the helicarrier. He was like sort of holding his own. I guess he still like defeated it, but it wasn't just like some, I don't know, blunt like, I don't know, Metal Gear Revengeance moment or whatever. I don't know, what do you make of it?
Yeah, and like honestly, like Web of Shadows Spidey was a little bit overpowered. Like tearing like Symbiote Wolverine in half is actually insane. But is he as overpowered in Web of Shadows as he is nerfed in Marvel Spider-Man 2? I would say no. I would say they're about the same, maybe. And it's the fact that they overpower Miles at the expense of Peter that, you know, rubs people additionally the wrong way. But, you know, we're going to get to that soon.
Well, yeah, no, it's basically the rule of cool. I mean, like, I'd rather see the rule of cool and have our protagonist be overpowered, as you said, than be underpowered. Like, what's the opposite of rule of cool? Like, I don't know. Cuck of suck? That's basically what this game is.
Cuck of suck. Okay, that's what this game is. Continue.
Might be the title.
tournament, Miles Morales
Cuck of
defeats the
suck.
murderer of his dad and his new arch nemesis, Mr. Negative. I wish Peter could have beat a villain on his own.
A complaint can
Oh man, speaking of what you just said, dang.
be made that Peter didn't beat a villain on his own. Yes, I'm sure that he could have beaten an enraged Sandman that was tearing up New York on his own. I'm sure that he could have beaten a guy that he doesn't know the limits of his powers. I'm sure he could have beaten Venom, by the way, a crack.
Cut context again! I already said I could excuse him not beating a giant version of Sandman, as said when I referenced Spider-Man 3 and Spectacular Spider-Man. More cut context. And that was like the first 2 minutes of the video. Is there anything to say or should I just resume?
He just wants to defend you from his mean fans.
Well, whatever.
Version of Venom on his own. That's all sarcasm, by the way. They didn't nerf him. These are villains that are bigger threats than the Six, and that's why he has more trouble beating them alone. Miles couldn't even fight those guys alone. I don't understand this because it's clear he was fighting lower level threats like Lee, but he doesn't have a chance in this game because he's dealing with bigger threats.
Black Suit Spider-Man is about to take things too far by killing Kraven, but Miles Morales somehow gets out of his cage in the short time they were fighting, despite his hurt state.
We don't know how long they were fighting. It's gameplay in between, so why couldn't he have escaped his cage? There's no way of knowing how long the fight lasted.
And this starts
Okay, brother, people could take a rough guess that the boss fight is like, I don't know, has a time average of like 10 or 15 minutes. I'm not gonna pretend that just because some like bad player took 50 minutes to beat the boss fight, I'm not gonna just pretend that the fight took that long. Come on.
our boss fight where Symbiote Peter somehow takes a hard L to Miles Morales, even though he was just hurt by Kraven, who he was originally captured by. Peter is amplified by the symbiote, and has just beat Kraven without breaking too much of a sweat. But Miles, who just lost to Kraven, somehow beats Spider-Man, and even outstrengths him in this one-shot here.
I know this is the most controversial topic that Peter should have beaten Miles, and I think the Gaming Rift has a better explanation of how Miles won, and I'll show that now because he can explain it way better than I can, and he actually has some really amazing points.
Because it's past tea time.
Oh, of course, this guy's...
So Miles is craving for his tea, so he just wants to get Peter out of the way so he can go drink his tea.
Yeah, of course it's the fucking UK. Bite me.
After Miles basically beats him, he convinces Peter to take off the black suit, which I find sort of destroys the whole beauty of how that arc usually plays out.
This is something I'll actually agree with you on. I think they could have done something better with him getting the symbiote off, and he needed more self-reflection on his actions, but I don't think he did too much with it, and that's definitely the story's fault for not giving us more moments where he's just like an asshole to everyone.
Sick Harry, who can barely walk, somehow proceeds to hit the canister, and Spider-Man just loses his superhuman reflexes and just lets it happen.
I'll agree with you on him also not being able to dodge Harry's cane just so the plot can happen, and that's really dumb. A lot of the symbiote plot I think was dumbed down, which is very disappointing.
It's almost as if the plot's shit. That's the most ridiculous Spider-Man scene I think I've ever fucking seen. Can you name something worse than that shit? In terms of, like, the credibility of, like, Spider-Man's abilities.
Yeah, no, honestly, I can't think of a moment where he's, like, portrayed as being weaker than this.
As Peter gets knocked into a fridge that falls on top of him and pins him. I've seen cucks try to argue that, oh, it's just 2 seconds he was down for. But no, they make an effort to show him get pinned for around 11 seconds, as could be shown by my timer.
Why is it so hard to imagine a fatigued Peter that got caught off guard being down for 11 seconds? And even in the first game, Peter was pinned down by Mr. Negative under some debris in basically the same situation. Because guess what? He got caught off guard and no one...
I heard this guy copied it from somewhere else. I already heard this shit regurgitated in my shitty comment section. Doesn't that look a lot heavier than a fridge? Or am I tripping?
That's definitely a lot heavier than a fridge, given just look at all the hardware that's inside of that. A fridge does not weigh that much. A fridge probably I could struggle out of, or even you, you know?
Complained about that scene.
Yeah, no, if that fell on me, that would probably kill me. I don't think a fridge would kill me. Probably get hurt by it.
You can pretty much tell
it's not that heavy.
What? He got caught off guard and no one complained about that scene.
Like, gosh, you can pretty much tell the writers at Insomniac.
Wait, did you see how I just shrugged it off there too? Also, making him like be pinned down by a fridge is just like humiliating.
Oh yeah, by the way, MJ
It
is
not
apparently
debris, it's a
fine
fridge,
from the same hit that knocks down and dazes Spider-Man. Her ribs would be toast, but oh well.
Also, MJ has faster reflexes than Peter for some reason. Like, she jumps out in front of him. Does he just not have his spider sense?
Yeah, he forgot to mention that. He
mean
conveniently left
Symbiote?
that out. Yeah, sure. I literally said,
Yeah, because what's the excuse for that? Yeah.
there is no fucking excuse. Fucking ass clown.
Dislike this character. If they really like this character, then why would they take a guy who stops trains and blocks a punch from Rhino while fighting the Sinister Six, and then trap him under a fridge for 12 seconds as he watches his 2 out of 10 that the devs turned her into get ticked down?
Okay, I understand. So Insomniac hates the character because he was stuck under a fridge for 11 seconds. Oh, okay. I get it now.
Like,
Yeah, dude, did this guy forget that this whole video was dedicated to why this wasn't the only point? Like, I don't know, a cane that you already admitted was dumb? Yeah, I didn't die on the hill of the singular point. And, I don't know, as you, like, dude, that cinematography, like, that shot we're looking at right here, come on, dude. That's not a coincidence, but, I don't know, these guys are pretty good at cope blinders. You'd say that's not a fucking coincidence.
Yeah, they're probably laughing. No, they're probably laughing their asses off while they made that.
You know, yeah.
Which is legit.
The devs are laughing, and they're also laughing because, yeah, there's people that will somehow defend, like, a dicking down shot. That's whatever.
like the game's fan base.
It's like the whole
the
pause it for a second. It's like the whole like Emperor has no clothes thing. It's like the people who are scared or love the Emperor will like deny the fact that he's naked, but people like you and I, like, we don't hold Insomniac in such a high esteem. Like, no, like, he has no clothes. Like, the Emperor is naked. This game is shit. And they're like, no, it's the only Spider-Man game we get. Be grateful. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be fucking grateful. Spider-Man's like one of the biggest IPs out there. It should be good. It shouldn't have him getting fucking bodied by a fridge.
Yeah, I'm glad you took it away. I was eating a brownie, to be honest. Let's get to it.
Like the game's fan base, I guess the writers are really into being in the shoes of a cuck.
Imagine being called
go
a
back.
cuck because
Go
you
back 5
enjoy...
seconds. Wait, is that like a face reveal? Did he just like turn on his camera on accident, or
Oh,
what's going on?
no, I just predicted this video. Yeah, I predicted this video when I brought this up, I guess.
Wait,
Like, oh my God.
yeah.
Writers are
I know he doxed
really
himself.
into being in the shoes of a cuck.
Imagine being called a cuck because you enjoy something. That's just some 5-year-old behavior.
You are a sad,
Why is he
strange little
speaking like a
man.
cuck as he says that? Imagine being called a cuck because you hate no. But the way he said it, he's like, imagine being called a cuck because you don't like something. What the hell?
I call people whatever the hell I want. It's pretty simple. I do not really care.
What do they want?
And he sounds like it too, to be honest. The cuck joke was literally placed, like, like intentionally, because dude, this guy's literally under the fridge, bearing witness to a cuck dicking down shot. That was the joke. I didn't just say it randomly, but...
And after getting bitched at by her, he loses the scream in the end cutscene after the boss fight.
Yes, I'm sure Peter is trying to actively beat the shit out of his girlfriend, giving it his all. No, you fucking idiot. You have to understand, these characters have emotions, and those emotions make them to react to situations in a different way.
Unlike Web of Shadows, once again, where Spider-Man gets to stay badass and beats a bunch of symbiotes and a black cat that got infected with the symbiote.
Wait, pause.
I mean, this is a...
Okay, this like contradicts his point. It's like they have emotions, like they're not just like battling. It's like during this fight where Peter beats symbiote Black Cat, like the whole time he's saying, "This isn't you, stop it, Felicia," and like he still manages to beat her. He doesn't get his ass kicked. So
yeah, I brought this up for the very same reasons you explained. He still doesn't want to hurt this person, but this guy's not gonna let himself get folded.
Weird situation with Web of Shadows because it's shown that Peter doesn't hold back as much against Black Cat, but I still feel like Insomniac's version was actually handled better than the symbiote Black Cat because Peter I don't feel is holding back at all, but we still see he ultimately does care.
Black Cat also gets her original design instead of just an existing character for no reason.
I don't understand the problem with this is just nitpicking, honestly. People have taken on two personas like in Spectacular where they combine Herman Schultz with Montana, and I don't see why they would ever actually use the character of Scream just because of the limited time they have.
Peter loses to regular lower...
Scream's a completely different
DLC.
person.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, like...
And I'm pretty sure they even leaked DLC, the, like, whatever their group is called is going to be in the new game.
Well, we'll see if they retcon it, but that's a completely different person. As I said, Snyder gets bashed for comic book accuracy, and these people get to change people into different people entirely. As you also commented on in my comic book accuracy video once again.
And yes, they are the lowest tier of symbiotes, but they are still insanely strong. Peter even says these things are brutal, I'm gonna need Miles' help. That's when he first starts fighting them. And Miles even says they're fierce.
Yeah, but
when
MJ
he's
don't need
fighting.
nobody.
And he even says he needs Peter's help. Again, if you even want to count gameplay, they take a lot of damage. I'm not gonna lie, Miles is stronger than base Peter just from the edge he has with his electrical powers, so him dealing with the symbiotes easier doesn't really bother me. I also feel Peter getting overcrowded by symbiotes is fine because it's already shown that these guys do some serious damage, and he totally misses the part where Miles was actually going after Peter, struggling to get him because there's just too many of them. The only reason they were able to get out of that situation was because of Mr. Negative. They aren't weak in the slightest, even the lowest tier of symbiotes.
Okay, Mary Jane, like, took on, like, hordes of them, along with, like, freaking, like, boss level, like, Venom-esque symbiote. So she can take them on, but, like, it's hard for Peter. Spider-Man? What?
Yep, yeah, I remember. Well, of course, he's just gonna completely gloss over that. Yeah, in like a month of training, I think you already addressed this, whatever. I know it's a month, that's not enough. But, yeah, this guy completely glossed over the fact that I, threw shade at Mary Jane's, like, little Rambo spree. Once again, no explanation for that, similar to her reacting faster than Spider-Man. But, oh well. I said it in the video. Of course it's cut, because, there's no explanations.
Maybe he won't get folded by Venom anymore. Oh, wait, he's still getting his ass kicked. He's not even holding his own, he's just getting his ass kicked still.
Venom is being shown to be the strongest threat he's ever faced, so yeah, he's getting his ass kicked, and I have no problem with this.
Yeah, as said before, the way this is all being presented
Wait, stop, pause.
Yep.
Yeah, strongest threat he's ever faced, maybe? I mean, he can just use the power scaling argument, but with the anti-venom suit, it's just insanity. I'm sorry. This is really dumb.
Quite clear that they don't like this character.
Yes, they don't like this character. Don't forget, they had a fridge fall on him for 11 seconds. An 11-second clip really shows that...
Okay, he's back to using my 18-minute video to just cite, like, one of the many points. Okay, this is fun.
The hate they
I
have
wish
for
he's
this
not moaning
character.
as much when he says it.
Yeah, whatever, this guy can... whatever, I'm not gonna make that.
And by sexually motivated, I don't mean the slew of flags and geisha that doesn't belong in a game that a bunch of 8-year-olds will play, as I covered before.
Man, those 8-year-olds must be some cucks for enjoying this game, right?
I don't know why MJ is a part of these
pause
fight
it.
scenes when...
Okay, that's a complete strawman. I think that's pretty much opposite to what you're suggesting. You're suggesting that 8-year-olds are young and impressionable, so they shouldn't be allowed to play this sort of game in the first place. It's cucks like you who enjoy this kind of shit. That's literally what cuck means. It's like you see someone else doing that to your woman, and you enjoy it. It's something you're into. So that's legitimately what you are. No, you're a cuck. They're victims to this whole progressive nonsense. You're the fucking cuck.
Well, look, he liked seeing Spider-Man get beat around, so yeah, I guess that's modernization of that when it comes to Insomniac lore.
But anyway,
Yeah.
when Venom can just one-shot her or take her hostage, but whatever.
I'm pretty sure Venom just didn't see her as a threat, but I can see where you're coming from here. I do feel she played a more active role in this game because it was established in the first game that Peter trusted her more in these types of situations, so I do feel like there was development.
Okay.
Okay. So Venom didn't see her as a threat, so he didn't take her seriously. This guy's so dumb, man. His arguments hold no weight whatsoever.
It's not Tom, it's Cope. It's Cope. Don't harass the mentally ill.
There.
Venom being defeated is a 2v1 win, or a 3v1 which somehow includes MJ. I know Venom is as powerful as Spider-Man if not more, but it's a part of Spider-Man's character that he usually always finds a way.
They did find a way to beat him. I don't get the point you're providing. This is the first time we were shown Peter and Miles having to deal with Venom. I'm not sure if they did it in the 2017 show, but still, this Venom is way more powerful, and I don't feel like that they could have beaten him on their own. And why is that a bad thing?
I went through every fight with Insomniac Spider. Well, it's a bad thing in a game where, as this guy fails to pretty much do, it's a bad thing in a game where history gets broken, and this is the only Spider-Man story that can be named where he does not get a red suit one-on-one win. I think he might have cut those parts out too. Yeah, broken history. Never happened in another show, game, movie, etc.
Yeah, no. I think the point as well is that Peter thinks that the symbiote makes him powerful and that he can't do anything without it, but then he learns that he can actually beat Venom after all without the symbiote, right? Over here, it's even worse because he has the anti-Venom, which is literally Venom's kryptonite, yet still is unable to beat him on his own. So just goes to show that, no, he was actually right, that the symbiote did make him a better Spider-Man, and he's basically useless without it.
And as you can say that, I'm not even the only one who said this crap. I just, I'm the only one who has the balls to not play nicely about it when it's clearly this dumb. Spider-Man 2, and unless you want to count nameless thugs, it's the fact that he loses all the time.
Again, this is dumb. All the threats he was facing in this game were shown to be higher than in the first game.
There's a side mission where he fights Yuri, who becomes a light Punisher knockoff vigilante called Wraith, but that fight shows no conclusion, and looks like more of a draw against a mere human somehow.
Yes, again, Spider-Man is going to give it all against someone that used to be his friend.
Honestly, the seeds for this Spider-Man likes Black Cat, but he still wins. Oh, whatever. Dog shit were planted a while ago. Not just with him losing a 1v1 to Rhino.
Rhino is a weird case because, yeah, he's not able to defeat him 1v1. And even Spider-Man himself says the Rhino was stronger than him.
Hey,
and
pause it really
Spider-Man
fast. Pause it really fast. I think it's kind of like a point with Spider-Man's character that most of his villains, like, he has a personal connection with. Whether it be in the comics or films, like, he always knows them. And he usually either feels bad for them or was actually at one point their friend. So saying that, oh, he's going to go all out. No, we're not saying that he's going to go all out, but he's going to at least subdue them, which is something he doesn't even do here.
Yeah, by the way, Wraith was pretty much the closest thing to a win. And even then, I'm not sure if that's really counting.
able to beat Scorpion and Rhino at the same time, but I think it really depended on the environment they were in, and that's why he lost. In the first game, they were in a contained area with no people around, compared to Rhino running around the city with civilians everywhere, and it seems the only way for him to beat Rhino is to contain him or outsmart him, so I feel like the environment really does matter in that situation.
But since they're very taking mini L's to a mere human like Silver Sable.
Silver Sable is a mercenary. She is still one of the weakest people he's faced, but it's his first time facing her, and she can handle her own. Yeah, she may just be a human, but superhero worlds can bend the limit of actual humans. Just look at Batman, for example. Nothing he does is possible.
Some guy, man. Okay, Sable has never beat this guy in any adaptation. And it's funny, this guy probably took the time to look for one. She's never won. I looked for it too when I was doing research for my comic video. And in terms of Batman, Batman doesn't take out anything that's as threatening as Spider-Man and just, I don't know, mere flip kicks like Silver Sable. And when he does take something that's as powerful as Spider-Man, if not more, it's clarified via, the meme of prep time, etc. Silver Sable, yeah, no prep time, just 2 pistols, whatever. I managed to make an 18-minute video compiling Peter getting saved and injured, which definitely says enough.
Someone made a video about Spectacular getting beaten up for 19 minutes, but he still comes out on top. And to be fair, some of his fights he shouldn't even be walking away from objectively.
Don't use a story. Okay, look at that crap. You see? Look at this propaganda. You can see it in the title of the video. This is a compilation from season 1 to 2 in comparison to one story.
And isn't the story like 8 hours too? It's like pretty short.
Yeah, I think overall, the cutscenes of Spectacular Spider-Man add up to more, screen time roughly than that game, minusing, gameplay or whatever. So yeah, no, this guy's comparing
2 seasons where, you know, Spider-Man will come out on top by the end of each episode for the most part. He's comparing that to an individual story. Like, dude, the fucking title literally says season 1 to 2. It's right there. This guy could have been smart and at least hit it, but no.
Minutes, but he still comes out on top. And to be fair, some of his fights he shouldn't even be walking away from objectively.
Don't use a story moment from an actual good Spider-Man story to justify your shit brain rot plot that only dummies can enjoy casually on a first playthrough at generous best.
You heard it here, folks. If you're a casual and you enjoy this game, you are a dummy. You can't just enjoy a game anymore. You are a dummy butthead if you enjoy this game. You are a cuck that has no friends, loser, scrub, dummy head. Get out of here. This guy is honestly just a loser. I'm sorry, but you're getting bitched at just for liking a game. Grow up, man. I find it funny that the pinned comment is from the number one...
No. None of those things are true. People who defend this game with their lives and act like it's some sort of masterpiece when it's not, who are the cucks. And actually go out of their way to deny the facts of the matter. So when he's talking about those kind of people, he's actually talking about people like you. So I don't blame you for getting all on edge and defensive, but don't generalize statements that aren't as general as you might portray them to be.
Yeah, with the context you've just given, yeah, I pretty much stand by those words in regards to crap like that. I'm not gonna sit here and see some cripple who could barely walk hit Spider-Man of all people and just pretend everything is fine. And as we're about to see, this guy's about to go after some random person that I pinned in the comments, unprovoked. Look, I could take him going after me, but now this guy's about to go after some random person commenting his opinion. You know, the thing he bitched at me for bashing? Well, he's about to do it.
Spider-Man fan, and he says,
but the best
I'm
thing too
way
is
past
like, hold up.
The reason why I didn't include his channel is because I don't want people to go attack him.
So what is he doing right now? He's literally attacking some commenter who enjoyed the video. So no, he's not just a cuck, he's a parasitic cuck, so the worst of the cucks.
Yeah, he didn't link the video, but people are going to find it. I've already gotten like a few comments. Thanks for a bit of algorithm, I suppose. But yeah, no, yeah, whatever. You articulated it perfectly.
But man, I find it funny that the pinned comment is from the number one Spider-Man fan, and he says, I'm way past complaining about the trash story of this game, but let's just sum it up in one statement. The fact teen adaptations of Spidey have dealt with both enhanced Kraven and Venom better than the supposedly 10 years experienced PlayStation version that should be in his prime is simply pathetic.
Oh shoot, he's saying the right thing, but he's saying it in a nerdy voice, so now it's bad now. He gave it the voice.
This
I
game is
actually
the worst
prefer
fight.
his like fake nerdy voice over his actual voice because at least his nerdy voice isn't a fucking cuck voice.
The adaptation, and I'll die on that hill. Say what you want about other versions as bad as they got, they never showcased as much misunderstanding of the character and the spite for Peter. Again, different versions of characters are not going to have the same power scaling. I'm assuming he's comparing Spectacular Spider-Man, and we're not all acting like he gets his ass beat in that show too. I find it so funny that he claims this is the worst adaptation of Spidey. Imagine being called a fan and not even really giving any reasons to how they misunderstood the characters.
Wait, can you pause,
Give me a reason.
please? Part of the reason as to why we like Spider-Man so much, especially the Raimi trilogy, is the fact that he loses all the time, but he eventually comes out on top. I'm pretty sure that's why Spider-Man is such a likable character, and as to why, like, superheroes like Superman, for example, are unfairly hated, like, oh, he's so powerful, he's never gonna lose. No, Spider-Man does lose, but he eventually wins. That's not the problem. The problem here is that this Spider-Man never wins without help from an external source, whether it be Miles or the symbiote. And that's the problem with this story, is that on his own, Spider-Man can't really do anything. He's just dependent on others. Maybe if this Spider-Man was like close to retirement age, maybe like The Dark Knight Returns or Spider-Man Reign, then it could work, but this does not work with a Spider-Man who's in his prime.
Yep, took the words right out of my mouth. Oh, by the way, he completely cut the Edge of Time segment where, you know, I showed him dying with some respect and some 10-ish minute boss fight instead of like some 20-second insta-stab, but whatever. A lot of cut content.
And they'll be proven wrong. And I know what you're going to say, well, the French pinned him down for 11 seconds, that's why Insomniac hates the character. Screw you, man. Give me reasons why he's the worst Spider-Man adaptation, too.
Ignoring the 18-minute video once again.
And I'll defend them, because I really don't see a problem with the character of Peter Parker nor Miles Morales. I'll even change my mind if you give some logical points. He also has another video saying Insomniac Spider-Man isn't comic book accurate, and I'm not even going to bother with that video because the title
Wait,
says enough.
pause. Like the fact that they literally fucking went out of the way to like blur your name out. That's some of the most cucked shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, oh well, these Insomniac stands are crazy as fuck. They'll find it. I guess he's just minimizing the amount of eyes. Oh well.
The thing I really want to talk about in this video is Spider-Man fans. It's such a toxic community. Not everyone is toxic, but the fact is, we are a
Like, oh my god, it's so toxic.
horrible community. People complain about the most stupid things, and it's just embarrassing. I'll always be a Spider-Man fan, but I don't even like associating myself with toxic fanboys. Here are just some examples that I think are absolutely stupid. Someone on this movie rating website or app purposely brings down the score for... would give the rights to Sony, honestly. I hated all of what you said was made by Sony.
Bro,
and personally, I wish Sony would shut down
identity is just shilling for
and
studios.
also, I personally hate Sony ever since they only bought Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong, criticism is needed in media. I wish I would have had more criticism when I was starting on my YouTube channel. But people don't feel like giving criticisms, they feel like hating on it and then not saying why or give the dumbest reason why. I'm gonna end the video here.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. We're giving you criticism for your shitty-ass YouTube channel with your disingenuous-ass takes, and you're probably not going to learn from them. You just seem like an all-round disingenuous and cucked person. And if you want to be cucked so bad, you can be cucked by us, you know. Ultimate Joker has a wonderful channel, and I even have a nice In Defense of Raimi MJ video, which you'd probably be put off by, but whatever.
Yeah, suggest it to your wife's boyfriend or something, but anyway. Yeah, I think that's just about it for this video then. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much we talk on this or how much examples we use to prove our point. The truth is, for anyone whose head isn't far up their asses of the studios who currently own Spider-Man, Spidey has gone through countless interpretations, but never has been so disrespected as he has been in Insomniac Spider-Man 2. Say what you want because we've said all that remains to be said, as this was indeed the final word on the nerfing of Peter Parker.